Welcome to another Filmmaker Film Watcher mini episode. I'm filmmaker Richard De Gregorio.
And I am film watcher Greg Ralph.
So, we've actually seen quite a funny comedy tonight, The Naked Gun.
Well, that's a value judgment. But that certainly explains why you've got no clothes on.
No, but really, we actually saw the new Naked Gun, and so we're here to discuss it.
Well, why don't you get us going?
Okay. Look, firstly, I cannot begin this without discussing the original film, okay? 1988's The Naked Gun is one of those rare comedies that continues to be relentlessly, absurdly funny decades later. I really love it. Every scene is packed with sight gags, background jokes, wordplay, slapstick, but what makes it all work is how straight Leslie Nielsen plays it. His Frank Drebin isn't in on the joke. He's dead serious, and that's what makes the chaos around him so hilarious. That movie just threw jokes at you non-stop. Some were ridiculous, some were clever, and yet, because of the sheer pace of it, you're laughing before you even finish catching the last joke, which is not surprising, as this was made by the same filmmakers as 1980's Flying High, or Airplane, which we reviewed in Season 5, Episode 5. So, I have been a big fan of The Naked Gun, and even its sequels, even though they did drop off a little. So when I heard this new film was coming out, I was very skeptical. Firstly, Liam Neeson? What, is this a joke? Leslie Nielsen was an expert, a master of deadpan comedy. I've never really seen Liam Neeson lead a huge comedy. I just couldn't see it working. I actually chuckled about it because I remember Liam Neeson on the Ricky Gervais series Life's Too Short playing himself, and the joke was that he wanted to do comedy. So I thought this was going to be terrible. I was a little bit skeptical. But this 2025 version, co-writer and director Akiva Schaffer, who made 2016's Pop Stars Never Stop Never Stopping, I think did a great job of matching the original series' energy and charm. The screenwriters really worked hard to honour the gag-heavy DNA of the Abraham Zucker original without trying to replicate it exactly. This is being called a legacy sequel rather than a reboot. Liam Neeson is Frank Drebin Jr., the son of Leslie Nielsen's original character. The story itself is very basic and cliche, as they always are. A respected, powerful tech billionaire, Richard Kane, Danny Houston, who really has plans to control the people, and it's up to the bumbling detective to save the day. You are never here for the plot, which is evident when the piece of tech that controls the people has written on it, plot device.
Yeah, that was good.
I think for the most part, Liam Neeson does a good job, but it's really tough to follow Leslie Nielsen. He was one of a kind and could make you laugh with a simple look. In playing slapstick or sitcom comedy, you really walk a fine line between drama and comedy. Playing it with too much drama and it becomes drama. Playing it too comedic and you're forcing the comedy. At times, I think he did a little bit of both. And timing is also crucial. It's a tough balance and takes years to perfect, but for the most part, he did enough to make me laugh in quite a few places. Pamela Anderson, playing the Priscilla Presley role of Frank Drebin Jr.'s love interest, is really wonderful. I actually think she really shines on screen here and has a great chemistry with Liam Neeson. It's a really tough role because comedy is not easy, and she really shone. I particularly loved when she got up to sing jazz. She was hilarious.
Scat jazz.
Scat jazz. She was really hilarious. The screenplay packed in the jokes cleverly like the original, and I was laughing out loud at times here. However, even though there were a lot of them that hit, I felt there were quite a few that missed as well. So even though I did like this film, I didn't love it. I can see why people are loving it though. We haven't seen a comedy like this for a very long time, so to many it would seem fresh, particularly to those who haven't seen the original trilogy. So it doesn't outdo the classic, but in some ways it doesn't have to. I think the filmmakers did a great job in creating a film that stands proudly beside it. Greg, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I think you got one thing really wrong there.
Straight away.
When you said that you were occasionally laughing during the film, you were giggling pretty much the whole way through. And sometimes I was more amused by the guy in the seat next to me than the screen.
I'm telling you, like I said, I did have a good time.
You did. I could tell.
From the first scene, it was actually very funny. Like I did.
Well, there's so much in there I want to pick up on. Let me stand back for a moment and say what I thought overall. I think you and I actually, because of all the giggling, I thought you were going to like it more than you seemed to have. And I just found it terribly uneven. So I think the performances are great. I mean, Leslie Nielsen is a really tough act to follow, and I think Liam Neeson did a good job.
So do I.
Pamela Anderson was a revelation. She was terrific. And
she lifts it, doesn't she?
Yeah. So I thought the performances were great, and I really felt the spirit was there.
Completely.
Yeah. My problem was the script. So I went to see this with higher hopes than you did, because I'd seen the trailer and I liked the trailer.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And when the film started, my hopes escalated, because the opening of the film is terrific.
It is terrific.
The whole bank robbery scene, which we've seen bits of in the trailer, was, I think, uniformly really good.
It is good.
And then the opening title slide for the film was I don't want to spoil it. That was really funny.
Yeah, I did laugh.
And there were a couple of places all the way through, including that title slide, where I thought they're kind of channeling or referring to Mission Impossible here.
Yeah.
So the font was very Mission Impossible. And there's something, I can't remember what now, later on, I thought, hey, this is a bit MI. So I really started to get a bit excited as the film progressed, because it opened so well.
It did.
But then there were big chunks, and I was kind of sitting there going, oh, yeah. And you made mention of the fact that the original Naked Gun film and its follow-ups, it was kind of like joke, and you're laughing and might miss the next one, which is why it was good to rewatch on videos or whatever. And you would sometimes miss something, or if that joke wasn't that funny, it doesn't matter. Here's the next three.
Yeah, and that a lot of them hit. There were chunks which were funny, but then there was a lot that didn't hit,
and a lot of absences of that background stuff.
I agree.
So there's a moment in the police station where you see the cold cases room.
Yes.
And they're all coming in as though it's like a meat freezer in a supermarket, wearing the big jackets and the gloves and so on. And that was funny. And there's an excellent scene that's in the trailer where they're worshipping the actors from the past ones, and there's an O.J. Simpson reference, which is very deftly handled, actually. It's really well done.
It is well done.
But in the movies and also in the Police Squad TV series, there was almost always something happening in the background.
That's right.
And that was missing this time.
Yeah.
And as I think I've already said and you said, there were just stretches where I thought,
Yeah, and the thing is, you really heard it in the cinema too, because there were stretches there where when I was laughing, other people were laughing.
Yeah.
But then there was like a chunk there where it was just... There were gags happening, but they were falling a bit flat, and the cinema was a bit quiet in certain sections. But in the originals and the other ones, they are always going.
Yeah.
Right? And there's always something there. So,
like Flying High. They were very much... This is Son of Naked Gun.
Yes.
And that's kind of okay, but I just think it needed longer in gestation to really sort of sit back and work through the script and work through what was happening in each moment. Can we cram another joke in the background that will, just keep it in that spirit? It was like it just didn't quite make it for me. But moments were fantastic, really fantastic.
They really were.
The opening is fantastic. But, even in the end credits, the Frank Drebin character, Liam Neeson, goes into... You only hear him, but he goes into a recording studio to record a love song for the Beth character, Pamela Anderson.
You've heard about it
and it's just... It's nothing. It wasn't funny. It was just... Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, that kind of encapsulated what I'd seen in parts of the film, sadly.
Yeah. So it sort of goes high, but the lows are low. Like it's just either really funny... Or there's no sort of mid.
And there's quite a few...
Either they fall flat or they hit.
Yeah, there's quite a few cameos, like celebrity cameos.
Oh, Priscilla Presley obviously makes a
Dave
cameo.
Bautista.
Very quick, Dave Bautista, yeah.
The guy... I recognise the face of the guy who was playing O.J. Simpson's character's son.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure who that was.
I just knew the face. So there are a lot of cameos, but some of those were sports people, particularly in the world of wrestling, and I'm sorry, it meant nothing to me.
Yeah, it meant nothing to you, yeah. But overall... I had a good time, and this is what these films are about. And like I said, I think there's a lot of people, who are in their 20s or 30s who wouldn't know what the Naked Gun films are. So this would seem very fresh to them. And like I said, we haven't seen these sorts of films for a very long time.
Well, I went back and rewatched all 3 Naked Gun movies, and also the first Flying High film, with my son who's 20, and we both really enjoyed them. And he really enjoyed this new one. He went to see it a little while ago, and really, really enjoyed it. I just felt the lack, and I don't think I'll ever rewatch this, whereas I had rewatched the others.
Oh, I will rewatch this. I think I will. I think it's going to sit nicely with the others, but
I don't think there's enough to bring me back.
Since you watched it, I didn't watch the originals again before this. I sort of didn't want them there. I wanted this to be sort of just see what it was like on its own. But watching like 33 1/3, The Naked Gun, compared to this, like the third compared to this, what are your thoughts on that?
The Naked Gun ones,
I think they do.
They do reduce in quality. In laughs.
Yeah, I agree.
They follow a very clear mantra of let's start the joke, now let's throw another level at it and another and another. And you saw that a little bit like when he's in a runaway electric car trying to get out.
Yes.
Which does have a very funny payoff, by the way.
It does.
For those of us of a certain age.
It does. I was laughing at that. Yeah.
I think I would still prefer certainly the first Naked Gun film. I think the second and quite possibly the third. I'm just struggling a bit to remember exactly what happened in that one.
Yeah.
Because they blur a bit. But I was happy going back to rewatch number 3.
Yeah, I think they're all good.
I just don't think there's enough in this one for me again.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you going to give it?
I've been umming and ahhing about this because when the film started and I enjoyed it, I think, this is going to be great. I was thinking, this is probably going to be about an 8. But it really dropped away for me. And then I found it hard to kind of claw back.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm going to give it 6.5.
I'm giving it a 7.
Right, okay.